EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Frank, a tranquil and beautiful setting with the Santa Rosa Mountains in the background, those crystal clear blue skies, but it can get pretty testy out on the golf course, can't it?
If you get any sort of wind out there, Rich, the sky might be beautiful and blue today, but that wind, once especially the cross breeze, then this course has teeth.
So we're ready to go here at PGA West. First hole is 445 yards, a par 4. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's a good way to start, Rich. Certainly isn't a drive and a wedge hole to get you out of the gate. This is going to be a drive and a mid-iron for most players. There's some good bunkering down there. Most players will just sort of look at that bunker that's midway down on the right side, but this is fairway first, that's for sure. It's still a decent length for that second shot ahead of you.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Clean this up with a tap. 1 under early in the round. Second hole's just 371 yards. Frank, are players licking their chops thinking they need to make a 3 here?
Yeah, if you can just accept the fact that you're going to have a longer second shot than you'd think for a hole of 370 yards, then that's the first way to overcome this. Just put yourself a short iron in your hand. Do the attacking with the second shot.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Oh my gosh, that hurts. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Settles in over the putt. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Moving to the third hole, it's a par 4 again. This one 471 yards. Good tee shot right in the short grass. Second shot here at the third. Bunkers guarding the front left of this green. That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Bottom of the barrel, and now to 2 under. Now at the fourth, par 3, and Frank, what's the key here?
Somehow find some green grass. The name Sandpit pretty much tells you what is around the green.
That will be a great look at birdie. 11 feet away. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Frank, what'd you say at the top? Die on the left, die on the right. Is this what you were talking about?
Exactly, yeah. The fifth hole here, it's called double trouble. So yeah, there's chances for grief on both sides of this fairway. But, if you're long enough, if you can just sneak it past 335, that's where the water runs out. This is reachable.
So if you do sneak it out there, and that would be the longer hitters, you might have what into this green?
Well, you can get home hybrid, maybe even something shorter. But remember, it's called double trouble. Avoid that. Maybe double eagle. This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flagstick here, but it looks as though it will find the green.
Well, that was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
-3 now, third round.
Frank, a long par 3 here at the 6th, 255 yards. Club selection obviously is crucial.
Yeah, and length is very important here. Something that can fly high and land soft is obviously going to make that green play a little bit bigger. If you get a breeze off the right or left to right into, this hole becomes very challenging.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards, so I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
This is a good-looking shot. Well, that's how it's done. The approach shot is within 10 feet. Another good look. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. How about that? 4 under par.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
That's been the story of the day, hacking it out of the rough.
Going to have grass stains on the shoes come the end.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
There you have it. Well done. Great putt.
Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Player really needs to be dialed in here. This approach shot is not easy by any stretch here at the ninth. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
This is impressive now. 6 under par and 2 straight birdies.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And we are back at PGA West, getting set to continue the action on the back nine. Beautiful hole here. Rock border that lines the water here at number 10. It's 416 yards.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.
Oh boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West. 617 yards. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Safely aboard. Getting set now over the putt. Moves to -8.
Frank, now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot. Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
I mean, this is amazing, Frank. He has knocked down every flagstick and a chance here for 6 birdies in a row.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. 6?
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
You see the blend of holes here from the long par 5 to the short par 4, now to the 214-yard par 3 13th.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
Way. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But, Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Did the job right there.
Frank, if a player needs to make a big move at the close of the round, how could they get at this whole location and make a birdie? They call this turning home.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to be a little more aggressive off the tee shot. A drive of 280 yards can certainly take those two bunkers down the left out of play. There is one in the distance down there, 350 yards, so even the longest hitters can still hit driver down there. You imagine pumping one down there, sort of 340 yards. Now you turn a long hole into a drive and wedge. That's how you get aggressive.
This won't hurt him. That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, you can't make them all. You'd like to, but you can't. This would give him the par. Drops for a par.
Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you mentioned, bends to the left, and that bunker can be taken out of play by the longest hitters. 326 yards will get you past that. Otherwise, there's sort of a V shoot down the right side that everybody else has to respect.
Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
So this is the third shot to the par 5. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot.
Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
Well into red figures at 9 under for the round.
So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you. And this will be fine, just a little left of the flag.
Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. These putts keep the round together. He can't believe it. Thought it was in. Just a little tap in here. Good work right there. He'll settle for par.
Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway. Hazard.
Maybe wet. He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That was well done, and now a very short putt to get out of here with a bogey.
Well, it could be a lot worse, that's for sure. 5 minutes ago.
Good putt. Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
First thing, really, Rich, just try and keep the same composure for tomorrow's round. Get some rest, we know that. Shouldn't really have to hit the range. Swings in good position. Just keep it easy and visualize how tomorrow's going to pan out.
coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. We're here today at the PGA West Stadium course located in La Quinta, California. Frank, why is this golf course such a challenge?
There's really no bailout, Rich. Miss it left, there's trouble. Miss it right, there's trouble. If you don't get the distance right, you're going to find trouble. So it really is a point-to-point golf course.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. That was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. And so just getting started, even par so far.
Frank, this is a nice-looking hole. Not long, only 371 yards, but challenging in its own way.
It is challenging. The best approach here really is a conservative tee shot to set up an aggressive second.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
That is classy.
They have a chance of going in. Even par, currently.
Makes the putt and goes to 1 under.
Now to the third hole, a par 4, 471 yards. Frank, break this hole down for us.
Well, the trouble appears down that left side with the series of bunkers, but you've got to take into account the trees that are well positioned down the right side. Plus, as you can see, this fairway is not exactly flat.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway.
Right, Frank, what do you think of this second shot here at the third?
Player gets a big opportunity here. Even though this green is 35 yards deep, it just angles away to the left side. As long as you don't leave the ball out that right side, there's a good chance for a birdie here at 3. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. And he's made it onto the green now. -1 for the day.
Now at the fourth, par 3, and Frank, what's the key here?
Somehow find some green grass. The name Sandpit pretty much tells you what is around the green.
Frank, where's this one headed?
Might just catch the left side of the green. On the dance floor, but it's going to be a long way away from the band.
This is a cross-country special. Well, this one's tracking. Headed for home and in. What a tremendous putt.
Well, here we are at the fifth hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. So they'll tap in. And with that, he'll go to 3 under.
Frank, a long par 3 here at the 6th, 255 yards. Club selection obviously is crucial.
Yeah, and length is very important here. Something that can fly high and land soft is obviously going to make that green play a little bit bigger. If you get a breeze off the right or left to right into, this hole becomes very challenging.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Locked in on the read and the speed. 3 under on the day.
Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. Will you break down shots or break down a hole? How would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's that sneaky distance. Do that.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Now the approach shot here on this par 5 8th.
Here we go. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. What a sensational putt that was, Frank.
Unbelievable. Pace, line, everything to perfection.
Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 9th, 452 yards, I hear players like you often say, I'm going to take it on. What do you mean by that, and how does it apply to this particular tee shot?
Well, you have options, obviously. One is to hit it down that right side, which is your best shot. The easy way is obviously to bail it out down the left side, but then you're almost giving into the hole, like you're accepting you're going to make bogey if you're lucky. So in the end, you're forced to go back to option A, which is actually to challenge the best shot you have, which is down the right side.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. A little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side, so you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Just a sensational putt.
Frank, now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Now minus 10 for the round.
Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13's always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there on that left side. And the way it sort of laps up to the wooden bulkhead, it looks anything other than a straight shot. And this is where you have to mentally move the flag. You've got to push that flag in your mind's eye to the right side of the green and say, I do not want to go left of that. And a little over-ambitious.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan. Should be safely on deck.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.
Solid par 4 here. The 15th is 468 yards. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? That's an absolute beauty.
Now the approach here at 15. On the green, and a chance for birdie.
How did that not go in?
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Building something very special at 12 under par.
Par 5 16th is a slight dogleg left at 600 yards.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Makes the green in regulation.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Knocking down all the shots today, now at 13 under.
So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. For birdie.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting. Nice.
Looks good. He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Locked in on the read and the speed. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
In for par.
Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.